universal, bro. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from, you
It
just...
doesn't matter what language.
Yeah, you just got that ear and you're like, boom, oh, that sounds hot, you know? And I think for a DJ, it's very hard because, you know, for at least an MC, you can always dominate with your words and your flow, you know?
Yeah.
But with a DJ, it's like you gotta use somebody else's music to kind of like, you know, talk.
Set their mood, yeah.
Yeah, you talk with your hands and you gotta like kind of like set the mood, like you say. And it could take one song that could throw people right off the map, you know?
Yeah.
So
and when you say you grew up in New York City, where exactly?
Lower East Side Manhattan.
Oh,
to be exact, right off of Delancey.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not from New York, but my brother, I have an older brother. He lives in Long Island City, but he was raised in Flushing. He lived in Long Island.
Brooklyn.
You know, my family's Colombian, so we know a lot of people in Jackson Heights.
Yeah.
And that area. I also have family in Jersey. I have way more family, like Patterson and Passaic.
Oh, I lived in Jersey, but I'm South Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
like Jersey Shore.
Okay.
Like Snippy Jersey. Oh
Man, let me tell you, that was one of my guilty pleasures. I used to love.
Oh man, you know what?
I loved
This
it.
podcast is over.
I loved it, man. I couldn't. I was like, I would make fun of it, and I was just watching. I can't even these people, and I couldn't wait till the next episode. And when they would travel to Italy and stuff, it was a trip.
I met them working out there in Seaside.
Oh, really?
I was DJing.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
They had me in a little small room because I was nobody. You know.
Well,
nobody-
what's his name? Paulie's a DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Paulie's
Yeah.
a DJ, right?
I saw him in the Hard Rock once,
Yeah.
playing in Passions. There was
Yeah,
this
he's
club.
good. He's actually a dope DJ.
Yeah, he
too.
is. He is. I was like, I was pretty impressed. And then they had said it on the mic, like, oh, we got Paulie from New Jersey Shore. I'm like, oh, shit.
And have you been back to Ecuador since?
No.
No.
No, all my family's here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so.
So you know something, while you guys are talking, I am imagining myself
Right.
at Juby's conducting a party. Right?
What is it?
She conducting a party.
Oh, yeah.
She being the DJ.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
her like DJ Zutra. You know, it's like,
Oh, I'd be hyped.
man, I want to see that.
And then Zutra was with the Z.
Yeah, we
correct?
gotta go out and
We
like,
got it.
go check you out.
Yeah.
Gotta go to Lauderdale by the Sea. That's where I'm at every
Okay.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
you should go
Yeah.
Friday. Friday I play a lot of hip hop.
Oh,
nice.
we gotta
it's
go out
crazy.
there.
And,
For real.
But you also
I know
put-
the owner be mad, but I guess everybody
But
Let me
you put
ask
like
you-
old school, like old school.
old school. I start with like Biggie, Nas, Mobb Deep.
Wow, I
Yeah.
love.
Wow.
Man, I like that run up right there.
Yeah.
That's a good roster.
No, and
right there.
I remember way before that even like when like I don't know if you ever heard of the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
The Ghetto Boys.
Yes,
Oh, I'm
I've
trying to
heard
do
of
the
them.
song. Hang
Yeah,
on.
the one that goes dang 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 dang
Yeah.
dang 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 dang. That song was one of my favorite songs.
I'm gonna have to steal her. She's gonna have to go with me on a Friday, Saturday. She's gonna be my hype man. I don't know. I just like when she said DJ Zutra right now, though. By the way.
Come on.
And I'm a little bashful. Like I don't like putting my name out there. I speak through my music.
Right.
That's
Right,
what I
right,
do.
right.
I can't be my own MC. Like, oh, my name is DJ Zutra. I mean, I want to, but I don't.
That's good though, because you know when I was growing up, I remember the DJ Clue.
Oh man.
Man,
Oh.
you were like, you
Oh.
had a good mix, and he's like, DJ Clue. And I'm like, yo, man. just
No,
be
and if
quiet,
I was born and raised here in Miami. I was born and raised here in Hialeah actually. And we had DJ Laz. DJ
Okay,
Laz was for everything. DJ Laz, you know the Oh yeah Morena.
Right,
That
right.
song was like big, man.
Right.
So, but that's cool, man. And let me ask you, what are some of your plans now for 2020? What are you doing? You know, besides working there Friday and Saturdays, what other projects you have coming? Are you recording anything?
No, right now I'm not recording anything, but I am traveling a lot for work. Like I've been in Aruba, Mexico, Jamaica.
Nice.
This year I'm actually working in Carnival Cruise Lines. I just signed a contract with them.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be
That's what's
overseas being sick. Because I don't do ships well, but
Well, every year I play on the Salsa Cruise. We usually do it through a Destiny. I don't know if it's Destiny Cruises. Towards the end of the year, we always do it. We've been on the Carnival Victory. Which one?
Nice.
Which are the cruise that you're going to be on?
I don't even know. I just signed the contract with them.
Oh,
I said
cool.
I'm doing it. I don't know
And
what
it's for
ship
a
it
year.
is.
It's going to be.
It's for a year.
Oh, nice.
It's for this year, so I'm a little nervous.
Was that something you were looking into doing, or it was just kind of just presented itself?
So a DJ of mine, he actually quit DJing for personal reasons about
Right.
2 years ago.
Okay.
And he asked me to take one gig for him from Carnival. And I was so nervous. And it was the first time in my life I was ever nervous DJing.
Right.
Like, I wasn't even nervous when I first started without a DJ name. I was nervous. I see all these people that just got on this ship, and I don't even know how many people are on this ship. A couple of thousands.
Right.
What is it, like 10,000?
Depends on the size. It could be up to 10,000.
I'm about to Google this right quick.
It could be like
but,
2,000, 3,000, 4,000.
I mean, when everybody first gets on the ship, and I remember I went blank. Like, I looked at my computer, I didn't even know what to play. And I froze, my fingers were shaking.
And what, you're gonna be like on the pool side?
Yeah,
or-
I'm on the pool side.
Okay.
And then later on, like on the nighttime, they have the little club, so it's the same DJ,
Alright.
which is me.
Nice.
We should all go on a
That's what's up.
cruise. I'm allowed to bring 2 people, so.
Oh, okay.
That's
We're gonna have to
Take
close
me
the
in even if you
barbershop
want.
for a bit.
Now, is it, the question is it all inclusive? Is it,
Percussion. No, we got you. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
inclusive.
it's all inclusive,
Yeah.
the cruise?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
with 2 guys. However, I love DJing, but as you know, I also love cooking. So I'm actually in the process of buying a food truck. So I'm gonna have a crazy
Oh,
old
nice.
school food truck with
Cool.
my DJ side.
Oh my
No, this is
God.
actually funny. I have somebody that's working on it for me. So
Wow.
That's cool.
I think food and music are everything in
And
life.
what kind of food?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What kind of
Right.
food?
So I'm thinking Caribbean food and tacos. And Caribbean goes from everywhere from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic to
Right.
Jamaica. 'Cause
Right.
I have a crazy appetite for food. So I just want to somehow infuse all of that as one.
Well, we had an episode on food. We talked
Yeah.
about all the
I
foods.
should have been invited to that
No,
one.
we're gonna continue doing them. I think we were gonna do some cooking segments. We're gonna
Yeah.
do all kind of stuff because
Yeah.
we all love food, music,
Yes.
movies. So
So that's-
that's cool, man.
So-
And where does sutra come from? The word. Where's that come from?
Oh man, you had to take it there. Come to yours,
Oh, I
guys.
see. I think
I don't know,
I think
yes.
I know where it's from.
Kinda. So obviously we all know Karma Sutra, right?
Right,
It's
right.
like you have sex different ways.
Right.
But the word sutra is just a word for different ways. Karma
Right.
was the sexual part. So I was like,
Right.
man, I love music and I could spin it in so many ways.
Right.
So I like the term and where it came from, sutra. So I just changed the S to the
The
Z.
Z.
So it could look a little more different and not so sexual.
Right. That's
And that's
interesting.
where it came from.
And what do you think about like this phenomenon, like when we have out here like ultra, you know, like that type of music? Are you
That's
cons-
wonderful for them. I'm not a fan.
Oh, you're not a fan.
No.
Okay.
I don't like just that sound. I don't like that type of music. I'll do it if I have to, but it's
Right.
not really where I'm at.
Let me ask you, why did you become a DJ? Like, what was the inspiration behind it all?
My love of music. There was nothing I wanted to do than to mix music and bring together people. Nothing. I couldn't even think of anything to do. When I was in school, I'm like, man, I'm a DJ.
Right.
I mean, when I was 4 or 5, I told my dad. It was just something I always wanted to do. Realistically, I wanted to work on the radio. You know, and everyone's like, no, you should put yourself out there. But I'm camera shy. Like, I can't even look in the screen right now. I'm camera shy.
You're doing a great job. You
Yeah.
seem really shy, really shy.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Good.
To be honest with you, for a person that's shy, you're doing
I
great.
don't like cameras on me. I take a good selfie, you know, but I'm shy. But no, it's just something I always wanted to do. I wanted to mix music and let people be one in
Right.
the room.
So you feel like that's the way of you, like talking to people and getting to, you know,
Yeah.
letting people know who you are
Yeah,
through that music.
exactly.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, both your parents are Ecuadorian?
No, my father is Egyptian and Puerto Rican.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
I'm all over the place.
That's all over the place. No, because I was gonna say, because Ecuadorians, I've been to, like I said, Ecuador, to Guayaquil, Salinas, I've been
What are
to
you gonna say?
Quito.
They don't look like me?
No. They're very musical over there. No, I was, like, the first time I went was probably 2006, 2007, and it's amazing how musical they are over there, you know? It's like, they listen, they listen obviously to salsa, merengue, and all that stuff, but they listen to all types of music. And they're very, very musical out there. At least since...
No, it's funny, because when I was like 6, I had fallen in love with Elvis. That's why he's on my phone.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
my mom. That was my mom's love. Yeah.
Wow.
I grew up Jehovah's Witness. Like, my mom was
okay.
Jehovah's Witness, so we didn't believe in anything. No tooth fairy, no Santa. My mom was like, I
Yeah.
gave you that money. I gave you the gift, you know?
Oh,
So,
man.
but
Wow.
somehow they let me believe in Elvis. So I remember I was like 8 years old and he was on TV, and then my uncle was like, man, can you imagine Elvis would have been blah, blah, blah years old? I'm like, what do you mean he would have been? And like my mom gave him a look, man, I cried for 3 days when I found out he died because my dream was to come to the U.S. and see him in concert.
Wow.
Like, I don't think I've ever cried for a man like that. I've been through breakups, but nobody ever made me cry like Elvis. Like, and it's funny because I would watch all his movies in English and his music. I knew everything, but I didn't know what he was saying.
Right.
So I was about like 15, 16.
One of my favorite things to do ever since I was a kid, I always make my mom laugh when I act like Elvis. Even though I have the worst.
Now he's gonna do it.
The worst? No, I can't.
No, come on. You gotta do it.
No, I have to do it like in a karaoke setting. I have to do when fools rush in. 'Cause I am falling in love with you. I do it, my mom just cracks up.
You're trying to make me cry. You need to stop.
My mom cracks up every time I do that. Or I do like Joe
Go
House.
ahead, thank you next.
Actually, New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve, I was like the accidental DJ at the house. I had my iPad and I had like everything on, and I put like all kind of music, and then I did some Elvis. And with my little daughter, my mom was just cracking up. She was just cracking up as I started doing it.
The voice is amazing. If you
I love that song. I love that song. And I don't know if you ever seen the movie that Salma Hayek did. That was called Fools Rush In. Yeah.
No, I never seen that one.
There is, oh my God, that's an amazing, with her and this guy from Friends. I forgot his name. You remember the sarcastic, you ever see Friends, the sitcom?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I'm really bad with names.
He's,
David, the one, David, the
he
skinny one?
He was the sarcastic one. He was the sarcastic, I can't even remember his real name.
Okay.
But him and Salma, they meet each other. It was actually kind of, it's like the Nexus. They kind of met each other.
Wow.
They had a baby. He didn't know. It was like they had just met each other. It was like a one-night stand. And they had a baby, and then it was crazy. But the whole thing was that that song, the movie was called Fools Rush In.
Wow.
And it's what the song's about. You know. So anyway, you gotta watch the movie. I'm not gonna tell you.
Well, you know what's crazy? Like when I was growing up, people couldn't pronounce my name. So instead of saying ELKIN, they used to tell me Elvis. I'm like, what the heck?
Elvis?
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm gonna have to call you
Elvis.
Elvis.
They're like Elvis Intro to do.
ELKIN.
Oh, you have that
Elkin.
Spanish accent? Elvis.
Elvis.
So you were like, Viva.
No, but you know the stories he's talking about is I was telling her and her mom this week at the shop. Basically, my name is ELKIN, right? And I never really liked the name because it was different, you know? And one day, a guy comes into the shop and he's, hey, what's your name, man? And I'm like, ELKIN. He's like, what? That's a powerful name. I'm like,
That's a powerful name.
I think the guy looked like he saw like the next prophet or something. Like, oh my God, you know?
You're like, it's a typo. It's really Elvis.
So he tells me, yeah, that's a powerful name. That means God is king. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing, you know? I was just like,
you should tell him, meet my wife Priscilla, baby. I tell you, I had the worst impression of my mom, and I tell you, she cracks up with it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's working for me.
You know what?
Here.
He's not like, I mean, I think he's just one of those people that no matter what, like every time I see a documentary or anything about Elvis, he's one of those people that I could always want to find out more, a little bit more about him.
Right.
You know, it happens with me, with him, with Frank Sinatra, with certain people that every time I learn just one more thing about him, it just, you know.
No, and I think that he was the type of person that he was way ahead of his time, you know.
Yeah.
When he came out with his talent, you know, it's just like, he just empowered, like, and just took over, like, he was just like the next big thing that just was born, and he took music to the next level. You know?
No, and it's amazing because I'm really interested in him. So I know he took off some time to go to the military.
Yeah.
He went to the military, and then he came back, and there's an actual video on YouTube where he's singing. I think it's with Frank Sinatra. I think it was Sanchez. They sing a song together, and it's like showing like the old, like Frank Sinatra was getting older, and he was like the new thing.
Yeah.
Like the girls were going crazy for him. And he comes out, I think it was the Ed Sullivan show. That was the big show back then.
Right.
He comes out, all the girls, and his hair is all like this. You know, like that. And he just starts singing, and the girls are just going nuts. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing, you know? Because it's like, like now you look at it, and to some people it probably seems cheesy, but he was the biggest thing
Yeah.
on. I mean, he was the Michael Jackson to me of that
Oh yeah.
that era, and I think that that's
Michael
why.
Jackson is great too.
Huh?
It's
Yeah,
crazy,
he's
Michael Jackson.
And I think the reason why they have those sad endings in their life is because they get so famous that they get lonely.
Right.
I mean,
Isn't that crazy though? Like, it's just, I guess you gotta be on that level to understand that type of loneliness. You're surrounded by people that love you, but you're
right.
lonely.
I mean, can you imagine like Elvis going to like CVS or Walgreens to get some? You know, these guys can't go.
Can't even buy toilet paper.
You know that's a funny concept you guys are bringing up, because I remember like when I moved here to Miami it was kind of like a blessing in disguise. I came here and I was just visiting and I ended up moving, but one of the reasons I stayed was because I wanted to do music, you know?
Right.
And when I got the opportunity to start getting a buzz in Miami, I remember going to the Aventura Mall, and I went to go buy some clothes for a show, and I remember there was like a flock of girls. They were like, "Oh my God, that's so-and-so. I saw him last night at this club. It was called 90 Degrees," and I'm like, "Oh my God, like, they must be confusing me with somebody, you know?" But then they were like, "Oh, can we get your autograph, whatever?" And I was like, "Oh man." And at that point in time, you know, even though throughout my whole life I wanted to be a rapper,
Right.
I was like, you know, do I really want this? And at that point in time, I realized that I didn't want to be a rapper anymore, because of the personal part of life that lifestyle would
I think you have
take
to
up.
be. Yeah, I think for some people you have
You
to
gotta be
ready.
prepared. Yeah,
You have to be ready for what's coming, and for some people it's better to become successful later on in life, because if you're not grounded or you